Get ready for Thanksgiving this year, because you might be served a plate of bugs. What Tyson Food just did is gonna bug you.
You guys hear about Mr. Beast saying that he would run for president if they lowered the age?
You mentioned that.
No way.
And he got elected. We're entering the Hunger Games.
I guarantee.
There was a card game called the Game of Conspiracy that, for whatever reason, keeps predicting future events.
Hey guys, I hope you guys are ready for another set of videos that will blow your mind. So if you got your snacks ready, let's go right ahead and check these out.
Get ready for Thanksgiving this year, because you might be served a plate of bugs. What Tyson Food just did is gonna bug you. They just invested $58 million into Protix, a company which makes food out of bugs. My name is Patrick, and recently we've been covering a lot about how the meat industry is evolving. With things like lab-grown meat, and now a major meat distributor buying up a company which produces food from bugs, things are changing to say the least. I need to note here though that lab-grown meat will be labeled clearly that it is cell-cultivated. That way, us as consumers, we get to decide what we put in our body, and if we want to avoid stuff like that, we get to. Food which contains bugs does not need a clear label, it just needs to be put on the ingredient list in the back. That's because we already eat bugs very regularly in our food, especially in the United States. The things behind me are going to be different products that are made from protein X, such as superior insect proteins to balance out the amino acids, or high-quality insect fats. Everyone's fully aware that things like peanut butter, chocolate, and coffee, they contain insect fragments. That's not news to us. We know that we're eating insects, little bits of them, every time we eat some of these products. Those are contaminants. What I don't think people understand is that we eat roughly 2 pounds of insects every year that are intentionally added to the food. Like black soldier fly eggs, which I really don't want to think about. This product I can 100% get behind. They're replacing soy with actual bugs for chickens, so our eggs are higher quality. And of course, some appetizing pet food. I have seen my cats devour cockroaches, so I'm fine. Go ahead, put it in the pet food. I personally, however, would enjoy some sort of like little check mark, like right here next to the organic label, that lets me know that it contains bugs.
I don't know about you guys, but I didn't know that there were so many foods that actually had bugs intentionally added into them. I knew that there was contaminants here and there, but not like purposely using bugs on everyday foods. But yeah, at least give us the option to opt in on whatever foods we're eating. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
This is very strange. Back in the early 90s, there was a card game called the Game of Conspiracy that, for whatever reason, keeps predicting future events. One of these cards happens to be called Imposter, and you can't tell me that doesn't look like Joe Biden. The eeriest part about this card is that the man and his imposter have 2 different eye colors, brown and blue. This is also a conspiracy theory about Joe Biden that the fact checkers tried to debunk, that his eye color changed from blue to brown, that Joe Biden has passed away and he was replaced with an imposter for quite some time now. Did this conspiracy card that was created in the 90s eerily predict a conspiracy in the 2020s?
That's another win for the Illuminati card game, because it is true, it's been predicting a lot of things that's been happening throughout the years, but this one is like on point, like even to the eye color, and that guy does look like Biden. I don't know, but all this is pointing to Biden not being the real one. Somebody has to investigate, especially because it's on that card game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
You guys hear about Mr. Beast saying that he would run for president if they lowered the age?
You mentioned that.
No way.
And he got elected. We're entering the Hunger Games.
I guarantee something switches. Or he puts people like all these prisoners on an island and says, hey, we're going to live stream all of these death row prisoners, and the one that wins gets set free.
Everyone else dies.
Is there like a legit dark side to him? I don't know about. Are you guys?
I don't know.
I'm sure
just
everyone
feel
has a little bit of
Mr.
dark side.
Beast, Mark of the Beast, M Beast. I don't know what more you want, guys. It's confirmed right there.
When I first heard of him, I was like, Mr. Beast. He's gonna be like a yoked, tattooed, like beast of a guy. And then you see him, and you're like,
it's like, hey guys.
oh.
Hey, hi guys, my name's Jimmy.
He looks like he just finished a glass of milk every time.
The way he gets creative with his punishments, I'm like, this would be a nightmare if he were the world leader.
Yeah.
Just a few degrees away from Squid Games is Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Like he's like, it's like, no, it's fun because they just get to go home for now. What'd you say at the end there, Mr. Beast? Nothing.
That would be a crazy world to live in if Mr. Beast actually became the United States president. It might be better than what we have now, to be honest, but it could be comparable to the Hunger Games if you think about it, because he's not gonna stop doing YouTube.
What you're seeing here is water memory. You can do this experiment yourself just by showing an image to water for around 30 seconds and then freezing the water, and you will see a reflection of the image you showed it. This proves that water holds memory. It has consciousness. This is because water can change its structure depending on the vibrations it comes into contact with. This is where things start to get a bit crazy with words. Placing the word schizophrenia in water and then freezing it shows this image of a double-faced person. This proves that water is intelligent and is reacting to vibrations of the words. Now that you understand this concept, what do you think happens when you are drinking Monster Energy, or with cans which imprinted the word of death? You are drinking crystallized water with the imprinted vibration of death. You are filling 70% of your body, which is water, with the vibration of death. Tap water is mixed with sewage and all sorts of toxins inside of these facilities. Although they may remove some of the toxins from the water, the crystallized vibration of this water is still very bad. The ancients didn't just build beautiful water fountains for no reason. They had a purpose of moving the water so that it restructures the vibration of the water. Water is basically the internet of the earth. It has consciousness and intelligence. This is why you should never place your car keys or your phone next to your water. The energy codes in my bio will allow you to place codes underneath water and then drink it.
I don't know about the ones in the can because it's not, the water's not actually seeing the print on the can itself. Because I thought the water has to see the image in order to retain the shape or the frequency. Forget about that. But all the music that we listen to, since we're made of water, and all those vibrations, like, they keep affecting us. Everything that we listen to, and even if we're not listening to, just by being in the air and all those vibrations coming and going through us, through our bodies, that has to be affecting us in some type of way. Same thing with Wi-Fi. If you think about it, because we're sending information back and forth through Wi-Fi, and those signals are actually moving through our bodies. Imagine your neighbor is watching something and that is affecting you because the signal is propagating through the whole house or a few houses away. Could that be changing the way you're thinking or changing your mood in some way? It is possible. Think about it. But I would like to do that experiment with the water and freezing it and see if it really retains its shape. Let's try and test it, and let's share the results of the experiments down in the comments. That is interesting. And never thought of the moon being concave like that. Like a lot of people that debunk the flat earthers, they usually say everything in the sky and in the universe is a sphere. So therefore the earth has to also be a sphere. Well, with this video, you could prove that it might not necessarily be a sphere. What's interesting is that he's dipping it in water and is actually showing each face of the moon, which is remarkable. So what do you guys think? This moment, I don't even know where we live. I don't know if it's flat, if it's round. But again, none of that matters. What matters is that they're lying to us either way. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
This pork company, which produces 1 out of 4 pigs in America. The Chinese government owns this pork company now. China is buying up all this farmland. They're growing their pig food here, feeding the pigs here in the US, and then shipping the pigs to China.
Literally using our resources.
Where's the line of like,
There's not really laws put in place for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But now they're starting to pick up on it, because I think Florida and Texas, they've put out this thing where the Chinese government cannot buy any farmland. Yeah, another example was Saudi Arabia. At one point, Saudi Arabia was the nation's 5th largest grain producer, and it's a desert country, right? So what they did was they tapped into all their aquifers. In the whole desert, they just pumped full of water to grow this grain. Well, guess what? Aquifers ran out. And so what they've been doing is going to different nations, buying land to grow grain places. An example was in Arizona. They bought like a crap ton of land. They tapped into the aquifers, and they're sucking all the aquifer water up. And so all these surrounding homes around this farm, all of their wells are dry now. But there's no law in this part of Arizona that restricts how much you can pump out of the aquifers.
how do you rein all this back in? It's like, you?
It is insane that we're letting China and these other countries just come into the US, buy land, use our resources, and send everything back home to their countries. What better way to destabilize the economy than coming to another country that you're enemies with and basically buying their land, using up all their water, using up all their land, taking their crops, taking their animals, and then what's going to happen to that country? They're going to have less food, less water. We're going to be put in a position where we're not going to have enough resources to sustain ourselves. Think about it. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Think we should create some laws to prevent these things from happening going forward. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
The Bible warns us how when the Euphrates River dries up, that the apocalypse is near. This is because 4 fallen angels will be released from the bottom of this river to eradicate 1/3 of mankind. That is approximately 2 billion people that will fall victim to these fallen angels when they are released. And sure enough, the Euphrates River is drying up as we speak. Actually, the river is drying up so quickly that the Iraqi Ministry of Water Resources warns that the river could be completely dry by 2040. That's only 16 years from the point of me making this video. But why will this happen? Or a better question, why would God allow this to happen? Well, as I mentioned, this is the 6th trumpet out of 7. The 7 trumpets of Revelation is talked about from Revelation 8 to 9. It all starts off when 7 angels stand before God, and then they receive 7 trumpets. The first angel sounded his trumpet. Here's what the Bible says about mermaids. The Bible mentions a mermaid, or a more accurate term, merman, known as Dagon. Dagon, to the Philistines, is an ancient fishman or god they worshipped. He had temples at Gaza and Ashdod. To the Phoenicians, the word dag meant fish. This being was actually said to have lived in the Canaan region, which is the location of modern-day Palestine, from about the 12th century BCE to 600 BCE.
Leaked on social media several years ago, this footage seems to show a team of men in white biohazard suits, carrying the body of what appears to be a mermaid. The tail is clearly visible, and 2 members of the paramedic team are nearby with a stretcher. As the paramedics take the creature away, we see a slightly better view of the tail, and notice how the area is cordoned off. Is this just an elaborate prank, a shoot for a TV show or film? Or could this be actual footage of the government finding a real mermaid?
I mean, we cannot tell one way or the other, so I'm going to call it fake because who's the guy taking the video? Again, it's a grainy video. I guess he should have gotten a Samsung instead of an iPhone. But seriously, I don't know. You can't tell because it's too far. So too far, too grainy, blurry, AI voice. Who knows? But it would be nice if it was true. But that doesn't even, and it doesn't even look like it's a woman because I can see a beard on the face of whoever's on that stretcher. So
I've been trying to tell y'all there's absolutely a reason why the Olympic Games was once banned in its earlier years. And like, to no surprise, wait until you hear why. Well, once deemed as a practice of paganism, Emperor Theodosius I ended up abolishing the games, and then his predecessor, the second, came behind him and destroyed all of the Olympic temples. Don't believe me? Wait till you hear what the Olympics has to say on their official page. So basically it says the Greeks and the Romans met for 1,000 years to pay tribute to Zeus, the king of the Olympians, and it in fact was banned to its ties in paganism. But here's my favorite part. They go on to say right here, nonetheless, like nothing to see here, folks. Let's not focus on that part. Excuse me, you're not just gonna roll past that like you didn't just say what you just said. What did they do? Well, check this out. Aside from athletes making animal sacrifices to win Zeus's favor in the games at the foot of the thunderbolt wielding statue, they took it a step further. They actually used merchants to import prostitutes and high-priced escorts. Sound familiar? Who were mainly temple priestesses called heteras, dedicated to the goddess Aphrodite, and for the availability of over 40,000 spectators at the height of the early games, which occurred every 4 years. Even mixing in rituals, sacrifices, feasting, and prayer. Those things don't really go together. What was once banned to honor their God of the heavens and to usher in a Christian society, like all things, time allows people to forget. And unfortunately, in 1892, a French aristocrat rebirthed the modern games, and in no short time, well, truly, there's nothing new under the sun.
I guess they're back to the original schedule with the paganism and the devil worshiping because the stuff that they're doing now, I guess they're making up for lost time and they're going into overdrive and doing some extra stuff. I don't know, it's crazy. And all this is allowed. Like, every country should start banning the Olympics as long as they keep doing what they're doing. I can't recall when was the last time I actually sat down to watch the Olympics. It has to be more than 10 years. Clips here and there of like races or whatever that just happened to come by on my feed. But like me sitting down to watch the actual show, the opening ceremony, the closing ceremony, no, sorry. No, thank you, sir.
So we've all known that we've had to have a license basically to do anything. They've made us get a license to drive a car, to operate a boat, to get married, to go fishing, to go hunting, to do all these things.
To breathe.
Guess what? They're all illegal. Let me read you something about our Constitution. It says, no state shall convert a liberty into a license and charge a fee. Therefore, if a state converts the right of liberty into a privilege, the citizens can ignore the license and fee and engage in that right. Boom. No more license. You want to go hunting? Go hunting. You want to go fishing? Go fishing. You want to go boating? Go boating. Nobody can take these rights away from us. We allowed it, and now we don't have to allow it, you guys. This is part of our Constitution. This is a license of liberty. So, sorry, it's really hot out here. Take that for what it's worth. Learn it, live it, use it.
See, the problem with that is that even though it's a constitutional right, they created a law, so now it's up to you if you want to defy that law, right? And go to court, spend money, time, aggravation, trying to fight it. You know they're going to fight you on it, and they got more money than you do, so eventually you're going to run out of money and they're going to win. That is the problem. You might fight it all you want, but now that it's a law and it's passed, like, what are we going to do? Can't do anything unless you got a lot of money. Things are not going to change if it's just 1 or 2 or 100 people just doing it here and there. Everybody has to band together and complain to Congress and see if they find it in their hearts to actually try and change those laws. Because if it is a constitutional right, there shouldn't be any permits for those type of activities. So I don't know, but again, you could defy those laws and do stuff at your own risk. It's up to you if you want to fight it. Remember, it's going to take time and money, which most people don't have to begin with. So that's how they get away with it. But let me know in the comments if you knew that this was a constitutional right. I didn't.
So,
what do you mean I can't have any alcohol?
okay, well, I'll tell you. Okay, the time's 20 to 3, 14:40. I'm arresting you on suspicion of improper use of the electronic communications network. I'm just
What?
127 of the Communications Act, okay? So you do not have to say that it may harm your defence if you don't mention one question, something which you later rely on court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand that?
So I'm actually being
You're
arrested.
going to be arrested, okay?
Right,
Take you
and-
back to the police station.
Right.
Okay, this is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page.
Oh, really? Oh, it's a Facebook crime, is it?
Okay.
Right.
So we need to ask you some questions about that.
Right.
Have you got anything in your pockets,
I've got my keys. I got. No, that's about it. I think keys.
So, anyone who's been arrested, we can search them under Section 32 of Basic Criminal Evidence Act.
Right.
That's a dangerous items.
Hey, I mean, you said I was going to be arrested under some what information? But I'm going to be arrested for posting on Facebook.
Some comments that are offensive, obscene, and people have made a complaint about that, and it's transferred.
And can you tell me what this comment was?
Okay, well, we'll do that when we interview.
All right. And so, what am I going to be locked up for the night, or?
Hopefully not.
Right. Do I need to
Unless
take
you
my
film
medications
us.
with me?
Yes, we will look at taking all of those.
When do you need to take them?
Well, I've got pain medications. I've got sleeping medication. I've got anxiety medications, which I might take one of those in a bit. Okay. You know.
Well, if we take everything with us, then you've got everything there, haven't you?
And then we've got a nurse up there. They'll be able to. They'll be able to come and see you, and then once you've been there, they can assess whether or not medication can be issued. All right. So what we're going to do is, you want to pop yourself up. We're just going to search.
You need the glasses.
Yeah, search you.
To come with you.
My glasses.
What is the world coming to when you are being arrested for posting something on Facebook? I mean, I would like to know why he posted. What did he say that was so offensive that they have to arrest this man? Because if that is the case, there's a lot of people on Twitter that should be locked up. You know what I mean? But that's insane. What is UK doing? I better shut my mouth, because next thing you know, they're extraditing me to the UK for talking badly about their government. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
5 people have been arrested surrounding the death of Matthew Perry, and this story is just sad, man. The people involved knew of his addiction issues, and they took advantage of it to make money, and they knew the risks because they were doctors. One of them, known as Dr. P, sold him 20 vials of ketamine for $55,000, allegedly writing in a text, "I wonder how much this moron will pay." He wanted to be his go-to for drugs because he knew that he was spiraling out of control, so he just kept going. You see, Perry was receiving ketamine infusion therapy for depression and anxiety, but his last session was a week and a half before he had passed, so it couldn't have been from his therapy. But the defendants involved with this case would work with Perry's assistant to inject the actor with ketamine despite having no medical training whatsoever. The day he passed, the assistant allegedly did inject him. And then when a couple of the defendants had realized he had passed away, they texted each other, "Delete all of our messages."
Mainstream narrative until now. Because we all know that this is just ridiculous and a complete lie. The logistics in building this before anyone even knew how to make paper is complete nonsense. 708. Wow. Oh, and did I forget to mention that this thing is in the middle of the water? Did I leave that part out? Well, yeah, it's in the middle of the water. And we are supposed to just believe that they had a great shipping company, an architect, a financial guy that would make sure that they had this all covered in the year 708. Oh, and it of course lasts forever. With 0 issues and not one flaw in the construction. It's perfect. unlike anything that we have ever constructed today. How does the mainstream history make any sense at all at this point? You cannot go from this in 708 to evolving and advancing into sheds. And now we build Motel 6s. It's crazy. How can anyone ever go into a history class again without laughing? The year 708 was just a year of brilliance, I guess. Yeah, right. These buildings are from the previous civilization, and more people are realizing this every single day. And once you know, you know. You don't go back to thinking that the year 708 built massive structures on a cliff in the middle of the water with a train that just pulls right up to—
I mean, he's not wrong. It is hard to believe that, like, back in the 700s, people were building this type of structures. No machinery, no vehicles, in the middle of the water, on the side of a cliff. It's things like this that make you question reality, if you think about it. Because if you don't question this type of things, then I guess we must still be sleeping. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
I guess the court ruling that just was handed down saying that Google was deemed a monopoly. You just put this in the private chat before you came on. So this just happened and I have not reviewed any of this. So what can you tell us about what this means?
I can tell you that the Department of Justice brought this case against Google saying, Google, you are a monopoly, and Google fought it. But the moment in that court case, when it became public, that Google is paying over $26 billion every single year to be your default search engine. So you pull up Safari and you start searching in that box, there's no branding that says that it's Google, but Google's paying to be there. You pull up Firefox, you do the same, Google's buying your usage there. It's not earning it, Google's buying you. And this is big. We're just calling Google what we already know it is, and it hopefully it's going to open the door for more competition. And Congress is going to take action. But it's, what we watch is a lot of people in power own Google stock or they get a lot of money from lobbyists who support their efforts. That's what happens. When you can spend over $26 billion to be the default search engine, you can buy your path. So this is a big step forward that the Justice Department said there's a problem here. You get to know what's there. That would be my hope, is that every time you get onto a browser and you start to search, you get to select the search engine you want to utilize, support their business model.
This lady doesn't know what she's talking about, because I don't know about on Macs, because I don't use Mac, but on every PC, every browser you have, yes, Google might be the default search engine on that browser, but you have the option to change your default search engine on your browser at any given moment, anytime you want. You don't have to use Google. Heck, if you could go to another search engine just by putting it in your URL bar. Just go to DuckDuckGo, go to any other search engine you want to use and do it. But you could go in the browser settings, change the default search engine to something else. And then when you use the search bar on your browser, then instead of Google, it will be using that other search engine. So I don't see an issue here. They're paying to be the default search engine. Fine. That's their business model. If they got the money to do it, that's fine. But, don't say that they're not allowing other browsers to, they're not allowing other search engines to be used by the users, because we've always had that option. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You think this is an issue, or do you think they're just reaching?
Morning, guys. This is just a quick update because I got to get to work. But when I got up this morning to get my coffee, I walked into the kitchen and saw this. So I guess you guys were right that activity seems to be picking up, because I have been, doing renovations. I replaced all this stuff, this dishwasher, this stove, the oven hood there. But this morning when I came into the kitchen, I noticed the cabinet was open, and then I noticed this chair. So I checked the Ring video, and it definitely
That was interesting. What do you guys think? Could that be real? Could it be fake? I could think of a couple of ways where you could fake it by tying a string to the chair, then pulling it from one of the rooms or from behind the counter. There's that silhouette of I would say a ghost. It could be done with maybe a green suit and the guy's just walking straight to the chair and just janking it and then just removing the guy in post-production or adding like that smoky look to it. I don't know, but if it's real, that guy needs to move like right away. He needs to do something, but he cannot stay in that house. If it's his wife, he better watch out what he's been doing since she passed, because she's really angry. He needs to apologize for whatever he did afterwards. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Guys, hit those likes, hit the subscribe, comment, share. Let me know what you thought of the video. That's it for tonight. Thank you for watching. Peace.